Hello everyone! In this video, you will learn how to work with the timeline in Articulate Storyline. So here's the timeline section, and as you can see, the timeline lists all the objects on your slide, and it allows you to do multiple things. First, you can rename the objects. So I will select this object, which is the header on my slide, and then I'll go to the name, I'll double click, and I can rename it. I'll call it the header. Enter. Here you go. Also, you can change the layering of the objects. So for example, here we have the three pictures on the slide, the bird picture, the moon, and the sun. I will select the sun and bring it up. You're simply dragging it, and this will bring it to the front on your slide. So the object that is at the top of the list on your timeline is the one that is in the front, and the object that is at the bottom of your list is the one at the back. So here I placed the background object at the bottom. If I drag it and bring it up, it will come to the front. I'll drag it and bring it back to the bottom, and that's how you can change the layering. You can also change the duration and timings of your objects on the timeline. So here I will select the sun picture along with the sun text. I'm holding the Control key. Select them both and then drag them up until this point in the timeline. This means that they won't show until the timeline reaches this point. So I will show you how this will look like. You can click on this button in the timeline to preview or to play the timeline. So here, as you can see, they're not showing up until this point and until the end of the timeline. So this is the end. You can drag it to make it longer or shorter. So that's basically the end point of the slide. This is particularly important if you have your slides advancing automatically without the user having to click next. So you may want to pay attention to this end point of your timeline. Now, as you can see, we have these small arrows showing for all the objects. This means that all the objects will keep showing up until the end of the timeline. If I want an object to disappear before the end of the timeline, I will select it, right-click, and then I will deselect Show Until End. And then I will drag it, like so, up until maybe this point. So this will make it disappear when the timeline reaches this point, while all the other objects are still showing. You can also change the duration of the animations in the timeline. So here you will click on this little yellow square and drag it to make it faster or longer. And here, as you can see, the duration of the animation is changing as you drag it. Here on the left side of the timeline, you can see the Show Hide icon, where you can hide some objects on your slide, like so. So this might be useful if you want to work with one object without having the other objects getting in the way, especially if they are stacked on top of each other. But note that those hidden objects will remain hidden until you unhide them. Also, you have the option to lock some objects in place so that you don't accidentally drag them while working with other objects. So let's see here, the sun picture, I will lock it in place so I won't be able to select it here on the slide no matter where I click here. In that case, it will be more helpful for me to work with the other object like this one without accidentally dragging the sun. So I usually lock the background object in place so that it stays in place while I work with the other objects. Here you have the playhead that you can drag and slide along the timeline to see how your objects will animate in and out along the timeline. You can also place the playhead anywhere on your timeline to use it as a marker so that you can move things around like so. Now, if you want to bring the playhead back to the start, you can simply drag it back to the start, or otherwise you can click on this button right here and this will reset the play button. Here you have the zoom slider. You can zoom in and out on your timeline. This is useful when you have a more precise actions that you want to take on the timeline. So you might want to zoom in. Otherwise, you can keep it as the default or zoomed out. Finally, you can undock your timeline like so. If you had a very big timeline, you can work with it undocked and you can redock it. And you can collapse it like so. I hope you found this helpful and I'll see you next time.